Hello dear students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. So dear students, in the previous class I stated the concept of respiration in other animals, that is breathing in animals such as cockroach and earthworm. So today let us start with the next concept, that is breathing under water. Okay, so dear students, we have studied the breathing process in insects and animals on the earth, which are living on the earth. So today let us discuss how the breathing process takes place in the organisms which live under the water. See, just you think of the question, so can you breathe and survive in water? Okay, so there are many organisms which live under the water. Okay, then just you imagine yourself, how do you think that they breathe under the water? What do you think that how do these animals breathe underwater? Okay, so already in sixth class we have studied, when we are discussing about the characteristics of living things, we said, so that I discussed with you, that is characteristics of living things, every organism breathe. Okay, so the animals which live under the water, they have gills, okay, such as in fish. Okay, so the gills in fish help them to absorb or use oxygen dissolved in the water. They are going to receive the dissolved oxygen in the water. Okay, hence it is going to breathe. Okay, so that's why gills are the projections of the skin, so they are the just a kind of projections of the skin. Okay, so you may wonder how gills help in breathing the gas. Okay, taking in oxygen. Okay, so gills are well supplied with the blood vessels. See, this is very interesting and important. So gills are supported with the well supplied blood vessels. Okay, so these blood vessels, they are helpful for exchange of gases. See, so these gills are made up of well circulated, well supplied blood vessels, and these blood vessels are very much useful for exchange of gases. Okay, so this is how the breathing takes place in the fish. You can look at it here. See, on the sides of the fish you will see the gills which have a well supplied blood vessels, which will help for exchange of gases. Now next concept, let's go for that. So do plants also respire? Okay, so we studied the animals under the water, how do they respire. So do we think that so even the plants also respire? Yes, of course. See, like all the other living things, even the plants also respire for their survival. So as we have studied in the sixth standard, so even plants also undergo respiration. What they do, they take in carbon dioxide from the air. Okay, and they give out, okay, carbon dioxide. See, they take in oxygen from the surroundings and they give out carbon dioxide. Okay, so in the cells, oxygen is used to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. As in other organisms, what happens inside the cells of the plant body, so the cells use the oxygen, okay, to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. So like how it takes place in the other organisms, same thing happens in the plants. So in plant, each plant can independently take in oxygen and from the air and give out carbon dioxide. So in plants, what happens here, each plant can independently take in oxygen inside the body and from the air and give out carbon dioxide. So we have already studied that in chapter number 1, the leaves of the food plants have teeny pores, very small teeny pores present under the leaf, that we call it as a stomata, which are supported by guard cells, so which is helpful for oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, exchange of oxygen and exchange of gases takes place, that is taking in oxygen, giving out of carbon dioxide. How it takes place? No, so this process is taken place, so with the help of tiny pores present in the leaf, surface of leaf, that is called as stomata. Okay, so like all the other living cells of the plants, the root cells also need oxygen to generate energy. Even the root cells also need the oxygen in order to generate the energy. So roots take up the air from the air spaces. From the air spaces, they absorb the air, okay, and which is present between the soil particles. So that air is present between the air spaces. Okay, it is absorbed from the air spaces and it is present between the soil particles. Between the soil particles, that air is present in the air spaces. Okay, so root hairs help to absorb the air from the air space. So now you can guess what would happen if a plant is overwatered. Okay, that space is filled up by the water, so that it feels very difficult to breathe. So in this chapter, we are all in overall we have studied the respiration is a vital biological process. It's a one important biological process. All living organisms need to respire to get the energy which is needed for their survival. So all the organisms, they undergo respiration because in order to get the energy which is needed for the survival of an organism. So dear students, I hope you have understood these two concepts, and with this concept let me end up the lesson. Okay, so in tomorrow's period let us discuss the exercise part. Thank you and have a nice day.